Hey, good morning, world, brothers and sisters. I got a question for you today. Something came up in my devotional I wanted to kind of talk about, and it says, David wrote this in Psalms, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So do you believe that you are a masterpiece that God created in his own image? Because he tells us that. But how many days do we go through life and we don't feel like that? We don't act like that. We don't believe that. We forget the truths that God has told us about who we are and whose we are. I want to take that a step further for a minute, because God created us in his image, in his spiritual image. But in that process, he gave us these biological spacesuits that are pretty awesome and pretty amazing. And David and I think even Isaiah talk about how wonderfully made and how unique and cool we are. And then if you look at the modern science where they're trying to analyze the brain, for example, and they figured out about half of it, but half of it they can't figure out. And they use the framework of how the brain works to set up computers. Did y'all know that? I mean, the computers work similarly to our brains with the frequencies and the way everything runs. I know it sounds crazy, but check it out. So we are wonderfully made in God's image, spiritual image, but we are also biological entities. So are we hybrids? Did God create the first hybrid where we're spiritual beings and earthly beings at the same time? I think so. And for me, I think most of my life I was allowing the biological spacesuit to be in charge of the spiritual image of God that I was created in. Think about that for a minute. I allowed the worldly part of Paul, the biological spacesuit, to be the guiding force in my life for most of my days on this earth because I didn't know any better. But as you get a little older and things start to happen, hopefully you realize some things. And what I've come to realize is the spiritual part of me is me. This is just the flesh suit that God coolly made for me that carries around the image of him that is in me. Think about that for a minute. The image of God, the spiritual image of God is inside you. So what I'm trying to do is figure out how to allow the spiritual image of God to be the directing force in my life. And it takes effort, it takes work, and it's something that's a fun journey, and it's interesting, and God reveals and shows me a lot of things, and he gives me the ability then to be grounded and be centered and love him and love myself and love others, because I think that's what he wants us to do, to be kind and love others and help his other kids. So my prayer for y'all today is that you take some time and remember you are wonderfully made. You are a masterpiece in God's eyes, and he made you a image of himself, a spiritual image of himself, but he also gave you a biological spacesuit. So the goal for me is to figure out how I can let his image drive the spacesuit and not let the spacesuit drive my spiritual image of God. So guys, I love you. God loves you. God, fill us all with peace, love, and compassion. Fill my family and friends with peace, love, and compassion, and fill me with peace, love, and compassion so that I can do a better job of using the gifts you've given me to help bring heaven here on earth and help to grow your kingdom. God, thank you for loving us. God bless America. God bless the world. Peace officers out.